Trading a $500 account, where is that going to take you? How are you going to scale that account to like $100,000? Realistically, what difference is 100 grand trading account is going to make in your life? I used to look at all these like big guys trading like $50,000 account, $100,000 account. I'm doing same trades, same concepts. Even if I'm copying their trades, I'm taking their signals. On a $500 account, $1,000 account, all I'm making is what? 50 bucks, 100 bucks? Then greed comes in. Then when you're being greedy, then you're over trading. To enter the Forex space through a prop model and apply the same concepts, get a bigger account, trade that would have been a game changer.
All right, so day 2 here, Dubai Forex Expo. I'm here with Umair. We're going to talk a little bit about his trading. He's a prop firm owner. He's a broker owner, super entrepreneurial guy, but well, welcome to the pod, man. Look, bro, you're a successful guy in a lot of different areas. A lot of it revolves around trading. Have you always been that guy? Like, were you ever broke, or like, what was life before, before, trading, prop, brokerage?
So since the very beginning, my dad just taught me one thing. Business and entrepreneurship is the only thing that's going to take you forward. And with that mindset, we started with the e-commerce business. Scale that. And then while I was scaling that, I was trading on the side as well. Saw success in trading, invested that money in my e-commerce business, grew that, and then now that company is still like running in Canada, and so here in Dubai, while I was trading, with my style of trading, and one thing that back in the days I used to wish that we had is a prop model, because back in 2015 when I used to trade, the biggest problem at that time was funds. Like trading a $500 account, where is that going to take you? How are you going to scale that account to like $100,000? How much time is going to take you? And even if you scale it to $100,000, realistically, what difference is 100 grand trading account is going to make in your life? If you think about it, right? So having a prop firm model is something that, really just makes me think that I wish I had that, back in that time, where I could take that advantage of that model, like a shortcut to trading, because I used to look at all these like big guys trading like $10,000 account, $50,000 account, $100,000 account, and I'm doing same trades, same concepts, same everything, even if I'm copying their trades, I'm taking their signals, but on a $500 account, $1,000 account, all I'm making is what? 50 bucks, 100 bucks, right? 100 bucks on a $500 account is like a lot, right? I'm risking a lot on there, right? So then greed comes in. When you're looking at the same traders, making $10,000 a trade, and all you're making is 80 bucks, then you're thinking, what? Then greed comes in. Then when you're being greedy, then you're over trading. You're over leveraging, you're over risking, you're using bigger lot sizes, you're getting margin calls, and then it's a completely different like change of mindset, so blowing an account from that point is just, that's why like the beginner traders, one thing that they have in common is that they blow account after account after account, so that's when I think that if I had an opportunity, to enter the Forex space through a prop model and apply the same concepts, same discipline, risk less, and get a bigger account, trade that would have been a game changer.
Well, check this out. You're a guy that owns obviously a prop and a broker.
Yeah.
I'm curious. People blow accounts, whether it's a personal account or a prop account. People do that, right?
Yeah.
Do you see any statistics that show traders' behavior is different on prop as opposed to personal? Like, are you able to see any differences between the two?
So when someone trades a broker, like a regular trader trading on a broker, right? So for example, you have $5,000, put in out of your own pocket, and you're trading that, your mind is in more of a bigger risk, and you're scared of losing. The fear of losing is far more as compared to trading on a prop firm, because that $5,000 is like probably all you got, or even if that's not all you got, that's the money out of your own pocket, right? But when it comes to a prop firm, you can get like for example, at Pipstone Capital, you pay $39, you get a $5,000 account, and you trade that. And if you've lost 10% of that, you lose that $5,000 account. 10% of $5,000 account is $500. So if you lose $500, you lose the account. But at the end of the day, you lost only $39. So in your mind, you're sort of trading risk-free, stress-free,
Right.
like less fear, right? So, and to be honest, if you are someone who can't even make a 10% or an 8% profit target, and if that scares you to enter a prop model, you shouldn't be trading at all.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's literally, it's a no-brainer in my head, like that if you're someone who is short of cash, if all you've got to your name is $5,000 or $1,000, trade prop firm,
For sure.
and enter the Forex space like a banger, right?
So if someone who doesn't have much funds, would you suggest a newer trader to start with prop? But if they have funds, to start with broker? Like, do you have an opinion there?
It depends on the type of trader you are and the type of discipline that you carry. Personally, if you have funds, why not just like trade your own funds, on a broker and scale your account like that. Prop model is something that I only suggest to traders who are really short on cash.
Yeah.
For traders who really want to enter the Forex space as a shortcut, and then scale that account, get payouts, but eventually resort back to, like the regular way of trading.
Sure.
Because at the end of the day, market does not favor you all the time. You're going to see a day where you're going to lose, I don't know, maybe like more than 8%, more than 10%, or break some rule of a prop. For example, if you're at some sort of a challenge, like at Pipstone, we don't have any consistency rule. But if you're at some prop firm and you break a consistency rule or something like that, right, you lose the account.
Yeah.
But none of that stuff really happens in a regular broker. You sort of have more control over your funds when it comes to a regular broker, because if you have the right stop loss, if you're the kind of person who does not move your stop loss, if your trade is going on a drawdown, if you have the kind of mindset that you accept your loss, and then call it a day. It's like a retail store, right? Some days you make less sales. Some days you make more sales. There's one day you make no sale. But in that day when you make no sale, that doesn't mean that you go out on the street and you start begging people to buy or whatever you sell in that retail store. It's same thing as trading, right? Like if one day you made a loss, or you were at a break even, it's okay. Just shut the store.
That's a good analogy.
And then next morning show up again. Right? Show up again, and that day you might have more sales.
For sure.
At the end of the day, you have to measure yourself as, at an average, your win rate, your on average, like, are you a profitable trader or not? Right? Now, a lot of traders, majority of traders, they know the concepts. They know things like buy at support, sell at resistance, trend lines. They know how to draw a trend line. They know like the price is going to retest and they're going to execute their trades and whatever. They do have a good win rate, but it's all a matter of that one loss that eats away everything. Or that one loss that you make and then you can't resist to take another trade, and now that's called revenge trading. And then you continue to lose.
Exactly.
And then once you continue to lose, then you double risk to make all that back. And then that's how you just lose all that money. So out of 10 trades, you could be...
I've never done that.
I've done it. I've done it in the past. So just talking about experience. So out of 10 trades, if you've made 8 profitable trades, majority of traders who are still not profitable and who have the concepts right, their story is that one trade that ate all their profits that they've made out of 8 out of 10 trades that were profitable, and all the profits were just like eaten away, right? So that's the story of a lot of traders.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look, man, amazing experience. I guess we'll wrap it up. I was going to ask you what your one piece of advice would be for newer traders, because you get to see the back end, but I'm assuming you're kind of saying that here is like, you see it all goes down the drain in one day.
So the biggest advice is to just pick one time to trade. If you're trading at Asian Open, trade Asian Open. If you trade at London Open, trade London Open. If you trade at New York Open, which I personally don't advise, it's too volatile. It's too volatile, right? So trade a session that is not too volatile, that is sort of like a London Open is a good medium of how volatile the market is. And do not over trade. Just take one trade a day.
Yeah.
If you take one trade a day and you only risk 2% of your account and all you're targeting is 10 to 15 pips per trade, compounding works like magic, and you're going to grow your account like no tomorrow. That's how I've done it. That's how I do, rinse and repeat. That's it. The only time I lose is when I overtrade. I take that one trade, London Open, between like 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Dubai time. You get a lot of chances. You get the right structure. You make your trade 10 to 15 pips, in and out, done. I only lose when I see the structure again, and then I'm like, you know what? Let's just execute another trade, and then so
spirals from there.
Yeah, so pick one time frame and then just don't overtrade. That's my only advice.
Awesome, man.
Well,
appreciate your advice, brother. A lot of knowledge. Thanks for hopping in.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Thank you, bro.
It's a pleasure. First time at Wayond.